inches fell in just 24 hours in a lot of places. We're going to see more of that action. The stubborn front, it's stationary, not going to move much for the next go. It took the weekend to fight some shear. It moved really slowly. It's moving northwest at 7 now. But aside from rip currents from the Bahamas and really high surf up there into coastal Georgia today and tomorrow, it is.
Spaghetti models will continue moving out east, Ginger.
Look at Nebraska, the storms dropping thick hail there, the flooding in the panhandle of Texas, and now another chance at seeing damaging wind today for the area that is highlighted here in yellow. All right, your local weather now in 30 seconds. Well, it was a historic summer in Phoenix, Arizona. I know you heard us with the headlines. I was there doing all of the research on the hot robot that helped us. The hottest summer ever, but most 110+ degree days, 55 of them. And the latest 114 that just happened this weekend in the year that they've ever seen. Here's some good news, not just for Phoenix, but places like El Paso that also had such an epically warm and historic summer. Down to 90, Dallas, it'll be downright chilly at 77 by the midweek. All right, coming up here on GMA, expert advice to help your kids thrive in any environment. The authors of the new book, Raising a Kid Who Can, are here talking all about resiliency. And then award-winning chef J.J. Johnson cooking up a delicious dish and showing us how to get your rice right every single time. That's hard. Your local news and weather are next.
Hurricane churning in the Atlantic. Good morning again.
Good morning to you. Yes, sloth-like. That's how slow storms were over the weekend. Anywhere from Maryland, where we have pictures from too, all the way up to Rhode Island and Massachusetts. And that's exactly who has a flood alert this morning, because the stationary front sticking around, giving us rounds of rain, not just today, but we'll get some more on Wednesday. So it's really increased in intensity, but now it's going to ramp up and then eventually turn right. What I can promise you is from the Bahamas through Florida and Georgia, you don't worry. The Indian border at Maine is who needs to look out by this weekend for what Lee eventually will be. Rebecca.
And what we can promise you is that Ginger will continue to stay.
Not just Lee that we're watching. Mark, north shouldn't affect anybody there, but we're watching next one, which could be Nigel. Also, yes, this is climatologically the most active time. We just passed the actual peak, which is September 10th, but we're on the downtrend. But boy, it is plenty active. And like I said, Nigel would be next, and we go right on to Ophelia after that. Let's get a check now, a little closer to home. And we'll start in Boston, where they have some fog this morning. We've had that stationary front and a flood watch there, and that includes Rhode Island and far northeastern Connecticut, because this thing barely moves. So do expect some of these storms to produce 1 to even 2 inches of rain really quickly. We get another shot on Wednesday. It's been a very wet start to the month. Let's get a check now, a little closer to home.